Hello, myself Dr. Vijay Chandra Jedla welcomes you to today's session on cloud computing. Today I am going to discuss related to the databases, that is Amazon Web Service databases, as part of Unit 2, that is core enabling technologies. The core enabling technologies which we are going to discuss here is of Amazon ODS, Amazon Redshift, Amazon Dynamo DB, and Amazon Aurora. All these four concepts we are going to discuss in this particular session. Here, myself, Dr. Vijay Chandra Jedla, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence, School of Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence, SR University. As part of cloud computing series, today I am going to discuss related to the core enabling technologies on databases, that is AWS Relational Database Service, that is RDS, then AWS Dynamo DB, AWS Redshift, AWS Aurora. AWS database categories. Now I am going to discuss related to the AWS database categories. Relational databases are the first primer part of the database. Among different types of AWS, the relational database plays a major role, where the relational database store and provide access to the data points that are related to one and another. So previously, when there was only a single computer, the database was for only one single computer, that is database or Fox Pro or Foxbase, like that. Some softwares were there where it will work for only one particular single computer. When network existed and server system existed, the relational database existed. So the relational database is meant for the multi-systems, where the data will be stored centrally at the servers. So here the relational databases store and provide access to the data points that are related to one and another. They are based on the relational model, which organize data into one or more tables, that is relations of columns and rows. Each row has unique ID called primary key, and rows in different tables can be linked using foreign keys. So here there will be primary key, secondary key, foreign key, and other different types of keys. The two different tables can be linked each other from primary key to the foreign key. Next comes to the characteristics of the relational database, that is RDS. The first characteristic we can discuss is structured data. The data is organized in a structured manner, where predefined using predefined schema. Then comes to the ACID properties. ACID properties means it supports, our relational database system supports atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So these four it will be supported, that is atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. That's why it is considered as ACID properties. Then SQL, that is structured query language. The SQL, that is the structured query language, where data will be manipulated by using the queries. That means a query will be written on based on that particular query, the data will be manipulated. Then comes to the joins, where we are going to combine the different data from the multiple tables that are related to the columns. that is considered as joins. So here the data will be stored in the form of the joins and stored in the form of the tables, and these multiple tables will be attached to each other in the form of joins. Then comes to the use cases. That is e-commerce platforms are used. Relational database is used at e-commerce platform for managing the product catalogs, customers informations, orders and payment transactions. All these related to the database, all are related to the database, and this database is of relational database, and this will be managed, the e-commerce platforms will manage the relational database through Amazon ODS, where it will manage the product catalogs, it will manage the customer information, it will manage the orders, and it will manage the payment transactions. Next comes to the next concept known as the financial services. The next concept here is the financial services. The banking transactions, account management, loan processing and fraud detection. These are the major contributions related to the financial services related to relational database services. So banking transactions, account management, loan processing and fraud detection are the major concepts related to the financial systems. Next comes to the inventory management. So tracking the stock levels, product details and supplier information and sales data are interrelated related to the inventory system. So the inventory system is related to the tracking stock levels, product details and supplier information as well as the sales data. Then comes to the CRM, that is the customer relation management system. It is considered as the CRM, customer relational management system, which stores the customer interactions, sales leads and also supports the tickets. Then comes to the content management system, CMS, that is content management system. This is also related to the Amazon RDS, relational database system. So here the relational database system relates to the different concepts such as ERP, enterprise resource planning system. So ERPs also can be accommodated through the relational database management system, Amazon RDS. Amazon RDS will integrate various businesses like finance, HR and supply chain. All these will be integrated through the relational database system. Then comes to the asset transactions. Assets transactions means atomicity, how the atomicity will transact used as a feature for the relational database. That is, a transaction is treated as a single individual unit of work. Either all operations within the particular transaction complete successfully or none of them can do. So here it is total atomicity is the property which totally relates to the transaction. Based on this particular transaction property, you are going to understand the concept of atomicity. So it will complete the transaction or it successfully or not, but the transaction is rolled back. If it is not transacted, it will roll back to its original state. This is considered as an atomicity. Let's take an example. Transferring money from the bank to one person to the another person, bank A, account A to the account B. So if you want to send to your friend 100 rupees from account A, your account, to your friend's account, sometimes it may fail. If it fails, what it will happen, it will roll back to your account back. The money will be safely stored to your account. So this comes under the atomicity. Then comes to the consistency. Consistency means continuously doing a particular work without any breaks. The transactions of the database. So consistency means how many transactions you want, you can give, you can make, but it won't say that so many transactions completed. That means a transaction being brings the database from one valid state to the another, one state to the another state. That is considered as a consistency. It ensures that the data integrity rules. What are the data integrity rules? That are the foreign key constraints, unique constraints and maintained before and after the constraints. It will maintain before as well as after. This all comes under the consistency. Next comes to the use cases. The use cases that ensure that a new order placed in an e-commerce system that includes the products that currently in the particular stock, and that stock levels are accurately updated after the particular transaction. So here the use cases that ensures the new order placed in the e-commerce. So here it will include the stock which are currently used, and stock levels are accurately updated after this particular transaction. Then comes to the isolation. Isolation is also one of the property of the cloud AWS relational database service. So here concurrent transactions will execute, and these concurrent transactions will execute it sequentially one after the other. This is related to the isolation. That means at a time all the transaction will not send, even though multiple users are updating the inventory registry, one after the other transaction will be saved. Let's take an example of Excel sheet where it is used as a relational database, shareable Excel sheet, where multiple users from multiple systems will update the concept. This updation will be done as an inventory records. That means one record after the another record. It will be in the form of the isolation. It ensures that one record of the another record it will work, and it is with the consistent views. So then this is all about the atomicity, acid properties. Among that, the next is the durability. Durability means how far this particular transaction is committed and how far it will changes the permanent, and it will serve without any failures. That means without any crashes, without any data corruption. How far it is, these transactions related to the relational database will serve. That is considered as the durability. Let's take an example. A customer successfully completes online payment. This payment recorded at the permanent stored, and it will not lost in the server even though it is crashed. So when I purchased a thing, if I paid the amount online successfully, then the data will be stored in the server. Even though if the server crashes or any problem comes, then also the data stored in the server will be as it is. So these all are the major concepts related to the relational database services. So relational database services, the support engines are Amazon Aurora, that is MySQL and PostgreSQL compatible. Then comes to the PostgreSQL, MySQL, MariaDB. So these all are the different transactions that will support the concept. Then comes to the key features. The key features of the AWS RDS or managed service: scalability, high availability, rapid replicas. Then comes to where this particular relational database services are used, that we can discuss. What are the major concepts related to the relational database? That are mobile applications. We can use them in the mobile applications. We can use them in the web applications. We can use them in the enterprise applications such as CRM, ERP and CMS systems. Then comes to the deployment and testing purpose, and even data driven dashboards can be constructed using this particular concept. And after this, the next is Amazon Aurora, which is interrelated with the Amazon RDS is the Amazon Aurora. Amazon Aurora is a relational database service that is built on the cloud, combining the major performance and availability of traditional experience databases within the simplicity and constant effectiveness. Based on this constant effectiveness and simplicity, this particular Amazon Aurora will work. So Amazon Aurora is a relational database service built for cloud combining the performance of availability and traditional experience databases with the simplicity and cost effectiveness. Then comes to the key features of a relational database, that is high performance, then high availability and durability, fault tolerant storage, backtracking, serverless optima. Then comes to the use cases. The use cases of this particular Amazon Aurora or high throughput web applications, that is websites with millions of users and high transaction volumes, can be managed in Amazon Aurora. Then mission critical applications, that is based on the associated missions, the applications that require update time, data durability, and financial trading platforms, these all will support the Amazon Aurora. Then comes to the software as a service, different applications related to the software. Those are of multi-tenant applications that need scalable and reliable databases. Then comes to the applications with predictable workloads. So Aurora is a serverless and it is ideal for application with the intermittent and the platform is related to it. Then after the Aurora, the next most important concept is DynamoDB. DynamoDB is a fully managed serverless NoSQL database service that provides fast, flexible access to data for applications requiring consistent single digit milestones, single digit milliseconds, the latency at any scale. So here this DynamoDB is considered as a NoSQL database. Why it is considered as NoSQL database? This particular database does not follow the SQL standard concepts of tables. Here any item will be associated with the content. So because of this there won't be any null values in the tables, and by this we are going to save a lot of database space. So DynamoDB is fully managed serverless NoSQL database service which provides fast and flexible access to data for applications that are required consistent single digit milliseconds and latency at a very high scale. This is all about the DynamoDB. Then after the DynamoDB, the next is the key characteristics, that is NoSQL, that is key value and document model. It is flexible schema which is ideal for unstructured and semi-structured data, where serverless, where no servers to provision, patch and manage. Then comes to the scalability, automatically. Then comes to the scalability, that is automatically it will do the performance of the data and we can scale it. That means we can increase as per our requirement and also we can decrease as per our requirement. Then another concept of it is high performance, where consistent single data will be used in a milliseconds latency. Then comes to high availability. The data can be replicated in multiple zones, where managed service it will handle the all operational aspects. So this is all about the DynamoDB. Then comes to the way this DynamoDB is used. It is used in the mobile and web backend applications, internet gamings and internet of things, and all technologies which will store the high end profiles as well as files. Then comes to the microservices which are used for fast and scalable data of the user. So all these are related to the DynamoDB. And after the DynamoDB, next we are going to discuss related to the data warehousing concept, that is Amazon Redshift. So for Amazon Redshift, the major concept is the data warehousing. A data warehouse is a central repository which has the integrated data from one or more disparate sources. So different sources, this data will be integrated. It stores current and historical data in one place, designed for reporting and data analysis, where rather than the transaction processing, the data is in data warehouse is typically demonstrated way related to the optimization technologies, and based on the performance, this data warehouse where large quantity of data we are going to see. Then comes to the key characters, that is subject oriented. The key characters here are subject oriented, that is it organizes the data around the major subjects, that is customers, products and sales. Subject oriented, that is customers, products and sales. Then comes to the time oriented. Integrated, what do you mean by integrated? The data is collected from various sources and integrated into consistent format, into one particular format. This particular data is integrated. Then comes to the time variant. Data is associated with specific time period which allows for historical analysis. Then comes to the next concept is non-void volatile, where one data is in the warehouse, it is not updated or deleted. A new data will be added incrementally. So this is all comes under the non-volatile. Then optimized for analytics. So here the design for complex analytical queries, that is OLAP. OLAP means online analytical processing. Rather previously they used as transactional processing. It online, that is considered as OLTP, that is online transactional processing. So here for the for the warehousing, data warehousing, the use cases are business intelligence, that is BI and reporting, financial analysis, scale, the supply chain methodologies. Then comes to the predictive analysis and machine learning, sales and marketing analysis. So these all are the different concepts related to the Redshift. Actually what the Redshift is, these are the different concepts related to the data warehousing. Now the Redshift supports data warehousing. The Redshift is a fully managed petabyte-scale cloud data warehouse which will have the services. It is designed for analytics and workloads that can process the large data sets quickly using the common storage and parallel processing. Then comes to the key features. The key features of it is where it will store data in column wise rather in rows, where tables or stores keeps an important for the row wise data storing, whereas this Redshift will store the data in the form of column storage, where it will optimize the analytic queries that often only need to access the subset of the columns. Then comes to the MPP, massively parallel processing. It will distributes and parallelizes the queries across the multiple nodes and crores of high performance. Then comes to the scalability, scale compute and storage independently. Then SQL based, that is uses the standard SQL querying. Then managed services, where AWS handles infrastructure management. Then Redshift spectrum where the query data directly in Amazon S3 without using the loading into the Redshift. So by concept you can also store the data. Then comes to the different use cases. The different use cases here are business intelligence and analytics, data lake analytics, operational analytics, data processing, financial, then migration services. These all are the different concepts here which we discussed. Then comes to the Redshift major key objectives. The Redshift major key objectives are related to the minimization of the downtime, downtime, data integrity, automation, security, cost efficiency. Then use cases are Redshift is cloud adoption. So many IT companies are turning towards the cloud because of the Redshift, that is data warehousing, where we can store a large quantity of data. So moving existing on-premises applications and databases to the cloud provider is given as AWS. Then data center consolidation, where migrating the multiple on-premises data centers to a single cloud environment. Then database upgrades, where it will migrating from older database versions to newer ones, where often coupled with the move to the cloud. Then comes to the vendor lock-in avoidance, where the data migrating from one cloud provider to the another. Then comes to the disaster recovery strategy, where it will duplicate the data and applications to a cloud environment for disaster recovery purposes. So these all comes under the data warehousing concepts of Amazon AWS Redshift. Then comes to the final concept, that is the database migration service DMS, where a large quantity of data will be stored in the traditional IT services. When they want to shift to the warehouses or to the relational databases or NoSQL databases, they have to use the concept of the database migration service. AWS database migration service, that is DMS, is a cloud service that helps you to migrate relational databases, data warehousing, NoSQL databases and other data stores to AWS, which is quickly and securely data will be migrated. By this we discuss the first concept, that is related to the AWS database categories, that are relational databases, that is AWS Amazon Relational Database, that is RDS. Then comes to the DynamoDB, where NoSQL database. Then comes to the Amazon Aurora, which is related to the RDS. Then comes to the data warehousing concept, which is of the Redshift. And finally data migration concept, where the large quantity of data is shifted from one to another. Then comes to the AWS Relational Database Services, that is RDS. The major services of the AWS Database Services, that is first one is AWS Relational Database Service, that is RDS. Next one is AWS Dynamo DB. Then comes to the Amazon Redshift, and finally Amazon Aurora. So here first concept, that is RDS Relational Database Service. It is a managed service for traditional relationship between the different databases by taking the support of database engines such as MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle and SQL Server. When we discuss with related to the AWS Dynamo DB, it is a fully managed serverless NoSQL database service with support of the data key storage, key value storage, where different keys or items are used to store the data, key value and the documented data models are interrelated in the AWS Dynamo DB. Then comes to the Amazon Redshift, where it supports the data warehousing. A large quantity of data can be stored in a column-wise storage, where regular tables are stored in the row-wise storage. Then comes to the Amazon Aurora, which supports the relational database service. And these are the major concepts related to the AWS database services. Amazon Web Services, Amazon ODS, service engines that we are going to discuss right now. The different 6 service engines are supported to Amazon ODS. These service engines are MySQL, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, Amazon Aurora, MariaDB. These are the 6 services, database service engines that support the relational database ODS. The relational database service ODS has 6 service engines that majorly supports ODS are Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, MySQL, MariaDB, Amazon Aurora. So these are the 6 different services that support the Amazon Relational Database Services (RDS). Amazon Relational Database Services (RDS) is a web service that make it easier to set up, operate, scale, and as a relational database in AWS Cloud. It provides cost-efficient, resizable capacity for an industry-standard relational database and management system. So AWS supports 6 database engines. Next comes to the DynamoDB. DynamoDB is a NoSQL database service for any scale. Fast and flexible NoSQL database service for any scale. Number 1, there is NoSQL database tables. That means it will not follow the SQL regular format row and column with the column heads. Here, based on the item and the concept you are going to introduce as further requirement. By DynamoDB there won't be any null values, so that the space will be benefited in the Amazon databases. So here Amazon DynamoDB, the major concept is it is fast and flexible NoSQL database for any scale. It is NoSQL database tables virtually unlimited storage. Items can have different attributes, low latency queries. They are scalable read write throughput. Next comes to the database of Amazon DynamoDB, where this is the fully managed NoSQL database, that is DynamoDB is AWS server with NoSQL database. It eliminates infrastructure management for developers. This DynamoDB is on demand capacity mode. It will be on demand capacity mode. That means however database which you require, that can be accepted or that can be taken on demand. Then it can build its support by ACID properties. Already we discussed the ACID properties. Then on demand backup. If a customer requires the backup, it will provide backup for it for customer. Then comes to a point in time recovery. Then finally encryption at rest. So these are all the different characteristics of Amazon DynamoDB. Scalability and performance. As per the requirement, we can increase the scale of DynamoDB database or decrease the scale, and the performance also depends upon the workload which we are providing. So it offers virtually unlimited scale and single digit millisecond performance for any workload size. It is highly available. It has highly availability and durability. Data is automatically replaced across multiple availability zones of for high resilience and global reach. Next is flexible consistency models. Here DynamoDB will choose between the eventually consistent, that is faster, or strongly consistent, that is most current reads. Then comes to the cases as pricing, ideal for the high performance applications which are priced via on demand cost equipment provisioned capacity. Based on the capacity, the cost will be identified, and on demand the cost will be produced, and this type will give an advantage for the use case as well as pricing. Next comes to the architecture of the DynamoDB database. Here you can see the user, then the concept related to the AWS management console. From AWS management console it come to the AWS cloud. In AWS cloud we are going to use the DynamoDB. This DynamoDB will stay on an instance, generally easy to instance, and that will give the adding an item to the table. So table here, it is not a structured table, it is a NoSQL database. So you are going to add an item as per your requirement to the table and search for the particular test. Based on the table item you can search for the text available. So here Amazon DynamoDB is a fast, flexible NoSQL database service for any scale. Next comes to the DynamoDB. Next concept is Amazon Redshift. Amazon Redshift is a fast, fully managed data warehouse where we can store a large quantity of data in the warehouse. That makes it simple and cost effective to analyze your data by using standard SQL and your existing business intelligence tools. Here is a look at Amazon Redshift and how you can use it for analytic applications. So here core enabling technologies of database concept are related to the Amazon Redshift. Next comes to the Amazon Redshift, which is flexible, scalable and cloud-based service that ranges from a few hundred gigabytes of the data to several petabytes. It allows the business to handle increasingly large data sizes with a upfront investment. The architecture is shown here. The architecture of the Redshift is used for the complex queries and analysis where large quantity of data can be stored here. Then it is based on the columnar storage, massively parallel processing to deliver the high speed query performance. Next comes to the benefits of Amazon Redshift. The benefits of Amazon Redshifts are to achieve explicitly price, performance, scalability and security. It will provide you the high performance, it will provide you the scalability, it will provide you the security, it will unlock insights of the SQL Server, which is identified by the data in the lakehouses, that is data lakehouses. Then accelerate decision making in the real-time analysis. It gives you the SQL analytics without managing the infrastructure. It conceptualizes applications with and boot user productivity with generative AI. This is all about the Amazon Redshift, the benefits of the Amazon Redshifts. Next is the key features of Amazon Redshift. The key features of Amazon Redshifts are scalability, integration, cost effectiveness. So finally, the Amazon Redshift is a fully managed service in the cloud dealing with petabyte scale warehouses of data which are made to store large scale data and implement effectively in the way of running even complex queries. Thus, it enables a business to quickly and cost effective to analyze huge amounts of data by using SQL queries and business intelligence tools. Next comes to the final slide related to the Amazon Aurora service. So here the Amazon Aurora is a fast and applicable. The major characteristics of Amazon Aurora are fast and available, simple, compatible, pay and go and migrated service. This Amazon Aurora is part of the relational database. It is in relate with the relational database, and the major advantage of this is it is fast and available, it is simple, it uses the pay as you go. It is a migrated service. Once we remember the concept of these four, that is relational database services, AWS which shows you the relational database services, DynamoDB which shows the NoSQL, then Redshift which is used for the data warehousing, and Amazon Aurora which is part of the relational database which supports MySQL and PostgreSQL. That's all for today related to the AWS databases. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you one and all.